I've been asked how can I reduce the loading time of Kontakt, so here are 9 tips. Tip number 9, render in place or freeze. So here is a short clip. And this patch needs nearly 1 GB. So when I use a lot of choir libraries and I like to layer them, this can take a lot of RAM. So I like to do this. I choose this clip, I go to edit, then render in place, go to the render settings, I say dry, and here keep source events unchanged, not mute source. Now say choir, okay, render, and I don't like freeze. I have a whole video about this above. So now I've got the Kontakt version, I've got the wave version, the audio version, and now I want to disable selected tracks. So this library doesn't need the CPU, and when I want to do some changes or play the choir at another part, go back and say enable selected tracks, and for this it's always good to have a key command. Tip number 2, the library device. Don't choose hard drives because they are old and they are slow. Better are SSDs or NVMe. Now they are getting very fast and cheaper and cheaper. Tip number 3, memory option. When you use a sample, there are happening 2 things. The first one, a little snippet of the sample will be loaded into your RAM, and then the rest of the sample will be streamed from your drive. So when you have an SSD, you don't have to load in so much samples into your RAM, so we can reduce the memory. So we go to this options button, and here is memory. You see a lot of other things, but we use the tab memory. And the default setting is 60 kilobyte. We set it now to 18. And now we reload this one. And you see it's loading and loading, but nothing changed. That's because you have to press this little button here. And now we can see that the used memory changed. Tip number 4, reload articulations. I'm here at Spitfire Audio LB1, and you can see all the different articulations here. You can play spiccato. And then we have spiccato staccato, pizzicato, and so on and so on. Perhaps you don't need all of them. Now we use 134 megabyte, and let's reduce a few of them. And you see now I've deactivated for articulations. Now we just need 93 megabyte, and perhaps we just need one articulation, just the spiccato, and now we just need 15 megabyte. Tip number 5, purge. So I'm back at the Albion strings. I go to the disk symbol, and now I choose global purge, purge all samples. So all the samples that are loaded into the memory are deleted out of the memory, but I can play. And you can see the memory is going up because now just all the samples are loaded in that are used at this track. And now it doesn't go up because I play the same key with the same velocity, and all the round robins has been loaded in. When you start a project where all the samples have been purged and you use a lot of instruments, strings, brass, piano, percussion, and so on, it can be that the first time you play the project, it sounds lacking. Some sounds are starting too late because it's loading in the samples the first time. But when you play back the project the second time, everything is fine. And you can go back and say, okay, I want to reload all the samples, and they are here. Tip number 6, batch resave. When you load in a library for the first time, you've purchased it and you load it, it takes a lot of time, and the second time it needs a lot of time, and so on. And the libraries don't know where the samples are. There is no absolute path, there's just a relative path. And you can help the libraries. Just go to here to this button, say instrument 1, so save as, and then save it, choose patch only, and very important, absolute path. So yeah, we want to replace it. Here it is. But very often you can have a lot of libraries and this would take a lot of time. So just go to this symbol and say batch resave. And it's very important to know when I'm here at Kontakt 6 and then I choose batch resave, all the older versions of Kontakt, like Kontakt 5, can't load in all these samples. So choose yes now, and then I go to here and say, okay, I want to choose this library and say, okay. And then it's loading all the different instruments or patches, checks whether the samples are all there, and then resets them in. And then you can load them very fast. Tip number 7, deactivate different microphone positions. Here we choose the low strings by Metropolis Arc, and we've got 4 different mics. We've got close. Next is AB. Then we've got the tree. And at last, surround. And again, all together. And perhaps I don't use all of them, so I just want to choose close and tree. And now what I do, I deactivate AB and surround. So now it needs nearly 60 megabyte. Deactivate AB and surround. And now we are at the half at nearly 50 megabyte. Tip number 8, round robin. I'm back again at the low strings, and you can see we've got 9 round robins. And they all need memory. So we are at nearly 30 megabyte. And now let's deactivate 5 round robins. And we are not at 30 megabyte, but at 14. Sounds okay. So let's reduce it to just 1 round robin. This sounds unnatural. We've got the machine gun effect. So let's deactivate 4. And we can do the fake neighbor round robin option. Well, here I don't like it so much, so I stay at the original. Tip number 9, Vienna Ensemble Pro. This is a standalone software from VSL, Vienna Symphonic Library. And now they've got version number 7. I love it. I got it from the beginning. This is a software you can put at your computer or at another computer. And here I choose the first instance. I call it strings. I created a new Kontakt version here. This is Kontakt, as you know, in Cubase or Reaper or Logic and so on. You can load in all your patches you want. So let's say we want to load in the Feldseiler. And then when you start Cubase or when you start a project, Cubase connects to Vienna Ensemble Pro and doesn't have to load in or the sample. And when you do it at another computer, you can save a lot of CPU. When you want to know how to handle this, here is a playlist with a lot of videos about Vienna Ensemble Pro server. So these are 9 tips to reduce the loading times of Kontakt. When you got some questions or suggestions, just leave a comment. When you like this video, please give me a thumb up, would make me very happy, and see you in the next time. Bye!